Okay. Just give me the high sign when you're ready to go.
Okay, 1 second.
Okay.
Okay, we just need to.
Just give me the high sign when you're ready to go.
Okay, 1 second.
Okay.
We just.
Okay. Looks like we're ready. So I would like to call this meeting to order. Let the record show that the time is 7:09 p.m. And the next order of business is the Pledge of Allegiance. So if you could join me in the pledge, that would be great.
I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, everybody. Next up, roll call. Ms. Reed, could you please take the roll, please?
Yes, Lauren C. Slack,
Here.
Dale Heim,
Here.
Jillian Emmert,
Here.
Jason Bashaw,
Here.
Christy Cooper,
Here.
Carol Cunningham,
Here.
Sean McGinley,
Here.
Donald Panto,
Here.
and Dwayne Dietrich.
Here. Thank you very much. Next up, we did have an executive session this evening for legal and personnel reasons. We held this prior to the meeting at 6:00 p.m. Next up, presentations / audience input on the agenda. Do we have any audience input on the agenda?
Not at this time.
Thank you, Kathy. Moving on to administration board discussion reports. First up, academics and education, Dr. Lutz Dimley.
Good evening. I do have a few things to report this evening. First, winter keystones and WIDA language proficiency testing should be complete by the end of this week. We had extended testing windows due to the snow and also due to an increased number of test sessions to accommodate both our in-person and our virtual students. Additionally, we are now preparing for spring PSSA test administration. That will take place in April and May, and all testing will be online. We have a teacher in service day scheduled for Friday, March 12th. And during the in-service day, we will be focusing on classroom diagnostic tools data, analysis, as well as PSSA preparation. And we have a couple of Trauma 103 trainings taking place, and those will focus on trauma-informed classroom strategies. And finally, I would just like to share that each building is currently developing action plans to provide proactive tutoring support and interventions to struggling students. And we're looking forward to implementing these plans in late March or early April, depending on what's actually involved. And that is all I have this evening. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Any questions? Seeing none. Finance, Mr. Spengler.
Okay, thank you very much. I'm going to, Wayne, am I able to share my screen?
Let's see. We'll give you that ability.
Sorry, Wayne.
Okay, you should be able to now, Bob. Oh, you know what? Let me stop my share first. Okay, now try it. You should have a share screen. So, yep, there you go.
Oh, there it is.
Okay. Whoops. Okay, thank you, everyone. I just want to take a kind of a short period of time here just to talk a little bit preliminarily about next year's budget. So it's a strange year relative to timing. At this point of the year, we typically have some more detailed information to share for the following year's budget. But this year, with the flux that the state is in with their funding scenario and a lot of the COVID-related funding, it's very difficult to kind of nail down exact, especially on the revenue side. So we're really holding off until next month to give a specific data, but I would like to share some of the kind of high level, big picture thoughts as we're moving ahead. And then in April, we'll talk more details, and then ultimately a May preliminary approval, and then a June final approval request. Primarily, our needs are based on opening with the continued parent choice model. Our parent choice model this year has worked extremely well for us. So we will, when we do plan on opening with, that kind of choice model based on the results from the most recent survey. A big question is what sorts of COVID precautions will be in effect for next year. It's kind of a crystal ball question at this point. We're not really sure, but I think we can be sure that there will be some precautions in place. So we need to prepare for that from both a facilities and a staffing perspective. And also be able to kind of pivot as things change. Safety and security are always the highest priority for us here in Catasauqua. Also, the continual enhancement of academic offerings, and also, addressing class size throughout the district. We've done a nice job with addressing class size, but we have some goals that will kind of get us into even a better position there. Continuing with the stadium project, we actually have already awarded bids on the field component of that, or awarded contracts last month. And next week, we hope to award the bids for the field house component of that. So that will be starting really momentarily with hopefully next week already some work starting on the field. So that's a big project for us that goes through the summer. Also focus on annual facility projects and equipment procurement. And also looking at capital and one-time purchase focus, because what's happening is, as you may be aware, there are some significant funding streams available due to COVID relief funds and a bunch of grants, quite honestly. So as we procure those grants, and really the district, our administrative team has done a fabulous job in procuring grants. The dilemma becomes properly coding those grants and appropriately, like making purchases that are aligned with the grant requirements. So that's kind of become an art. We're very accustomed to it, but it is a really significant amount that we could be looking at. So that's another piece there. Being fiscally responsible, we are looking at no tax increase for the Catasauqua Area School District community for next year. Also proactively preparing for the future. As I mentioned, utilizing COVID relief funds, and then additionally continuing with our fund balance plan. On the revenue side, fortunately, our local revenue has generally stabilized, and we hope that to even continue positively through next year and in the future. We do have some significant positive movement in the region. Certainly, the Lehigh Valley is really poised nicely for a comeback here. And our school district, we have a few warehouse developments that are in the planning process, as well as significant housing development. So those are all really positive things on the revenue side for us. And again, we are proposing no local real estate tax increase moving forward. State revenue, big question. Fortunately, the federal COVID relief, I think, will fill the coffers of our state, of the Commonwealth. So I do not see any sort of funding deficit from the state. And if you did follow the governor's, most recent, or I guess I'll call it his initial kind of shot at the budget for next year, it literally would put dollars into the fair funding formula. So if you're familiar with this or not, you'll hear a short kind of spiel here. But so the full amount of funding that comes to school districts through the state right now is funded through the basic ed funding formula, and then there's a special ed funding formula. Well, only new money is put through the fair funding formula. The rest of it is all in a hold harmless sort of fund. So what happens is you really don't make a lot of headway if you're a less wealthy school district who is attempting to achieve some equity in funding through this fair funding formula. So the governor has proposed to put the entire amount of school district funding from the state coffers through the funding formula. Because the fair funding formula is actually a much more equitable way of funding our schools, and it's based on the needs of your population, not just getting the same amount of money you had with an increase. So if that were to happen, our school district would literally receive, on top of our existing state funding, an additional nearly $2.7 million annually, which is literally almost a 60% increase in state funding, if that were to happen. Now, look, do I think that's entirely going to happen? No, but there is a significant push in our Commonwealth to move more dollars through the fair funding formula. So, I mean, we can only benefit from that because we've kind of been on the short end of the stick, quite honestly. So we are watching that closely, and unfortunately, we probably won't know that answer until June. So we'll probably prepare just based on PDE flat funding, and then anything we receive additional will just be, good news that we can move ahead with. So that's the big question on state revenue. So I'm hoping a month from now we'll have a little bit better picture, but not entirely hopeful. On the federal revenue side, as I mentioned before, we have significant COVID relief funding. We still do not know our Title I allocations. So, even the federal revenue right now is questionable, but it's significant funding. So the questions there, become, what can you spend these funds on? And then how do we choose to spend them locally? And they have to be spent, appropriately. And there's a whole lot, and Catty can attest to this, there's a whole lot of regulations that come into federal grant monies. And Catty knows that inside and out. And Lois too. Cost of doing business types of things, salaries and benefits. We work under contracts and agreements and things like that. We do have a significant number of retirees and resignations, that honestly could be, changing over the next few weeks with additional folks. So we certainly will replace retirees and resignations, which, does help us in attritional savings, which is basically the difference between the salary of the current individual and the salary of the new individual. Class size reduction in online teachers. You met, some of the new teachers already, and some additional positions and changes that we're evaluating. We do have our health consortium increase, which it's approximately 10% increase. If you do follow the book of business on healthcare, that's still a very reasonable number. Yes, we have had those years where we've had 2 and 3%. But we're in a countywide consortium, and 10% is the number, moving ahead. So that'll be reflected in the budget. PSERS, which is the public school employee retirement system. As you know, that some of us who have been around for a long time remember when that was almost nothing. Literally, the fund was so flush that school districts were contributing nearly zero to the fund. That has current year increased to 34.51% of salary we contribute to the pension system. So, for every $100 of salary, the school district has to pay into the PSER system, the retirement system, another $34.51. So that goes up slightly next year to $34.94 for every 100. So, we reflect that appropriately. Also, building the fund balance with 1-year debt service savings. I want to remind the board that the debt service restructuring and refinancing that we did last year did gain us approximately $1.3 million next year of less debt service. So that will be wrapped in. But again, that's not something that we remove from the budget because it comes back to us the following year. It was kind of a 1 year reprise, if that's the right word, hiatus on making that payment. So, but that's additional dollars that can go into fund balance. Charter school tuition payments, we have seen, and just like every other school district in the Commonwealth, we have seen a significant increase in charter school tuition payments. Even though we are offering the full parent choice model with a 5-day in-person model and a extremely robust online program, we still have seen a number of students move to charter schools, particularly cyber charters. So that has been approximately a $200,000 increase. Now that may change next year because they may come back, but you kind of don't know how to kind of capture that, except we will attempt to capture those folks in our survey when we ask parents for their preferred program for next year. So we're going to wrap those people in so that they're aware that they can come back. And we will market to them as well. But that is a phenomenon throughout the Commonwealth. You also heard, kind of going backwards a little bit here, you did hear from the governor's office on the initial budget proposal that he's proposing some sweeping charter school funding changes for both regular charter schools and in particular cyber charter schools, basically capping what we would pay a cyber charter school. So we know for a fact that, we can educate our students in a cyber program for significantly less than a cyber charter school charges us. So I think, the governor's office at least is saying, well, there should be a flat tuition, and maybe it's $9,000 or $9,400, I think might have been the number that they're proposing for a student instead of the, 17 to 30 some $1,000s per student. So that could save us significant funding. So, we're gonna have to keep our eye on that to kind of see what happens. What's included? I'll go quickly here, I promise. Safety and security. The third SRO, school resource officer, will begin this for the new school year for us. We will then have one for each school building. We continue our mental health professionals and our mental health program through our behavioral health through Salisbury Behavioral Health. That has been a fantastic program, so we continue that. We are enhancing our program by maintaining our virtual and class size reduction teachers who you met tonight. And I do have the addition of a work experience certified teacher at the high school level. Operationally, we have a stadium project. We have a number of vehicles and equipment that we will recommend making a one-time purchase rather than going out on a lease, because that would qualify for some of our relief funds, quite honestly. At Scheckler, we're looking at the north wall. That probably doesn't mean a whole lot to a lot of people, but the wall facing, what's it facing? Kind of the Scheckler big parking lot. That side of the building in particular receives significant water. Let's just say that. So, the weather really hits that side. So we have some infiltration over there. We need to reseal windows. We've got some height over there too. So, it's a big job. So we're going to look at repairing and sealing minimally that side and some other areas of the building. At the middle school, we have locker replacement, which is our last phase. That would be the 8th grade wing. We have stage curtains and classroom carpets highlighted right now for the middle school. At the high school, we're looking at significant replacement of blinds, window blinds, that is. And district-wide, we have cleaning equipment and some other things. Technology, you heard last month about the infrastructure update. Thank you very much, Wayne, for facilitating that and applying to E-rate and getting us a significant, federal discount on that. We're paying pennies on the dollar for that project, so we'll be doing that. And then obviously, it includes all of our partner agency budgets, which is IU21, LCTI, and L-Tri-C, which, if I recall correctly, we approved last month. And basically looking, as I mentioned earlier, in April, a more robust presentation, we hope. In May, we're looking for preliminary approval, and ultimately June, final approval. So I apologize for taking a lot of time. Kind of a high level, look at budget right now, but I'm very confident moving ahead. I think we're in very in a really good position, quite honestly. Okay. Any questions, comments? I'm going to stop my sharing. Thank you, everyone.
Okay. Well, Bob, you did such a good job with finance. You get to go next too. Buildings and grounds.
Lucky me. So here we go. The first item we did hold a stadium project design team meeting today. And we reviewed the bid tabulations for the field house component of that project. We did have our engineer there reviewing those along with us and presenting some information, providing background and some clarification. And we will be recommending the award of the bids at a special meeting we will hold next Wednesday, the 16th at 6 p.m. held virtually.
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Oh, Tuesday. I'm sorry. Did I say Wednesday?
You did.
Yeah.
Yes.
Tuesday. Sometimes I'm really not sure what day it is. So yes, it's Tuesday, the 16th, 6 p.m. virtually. And we will make sure we get that advertised appropriately. So that's number one. The second thing is you may have noticed a familiar scene at the middle school, which includes, a backhoe and a couple triaxle dump trucks. Yes, we are digging up the heating line once again, but this time to replace the whole line because we do have another leak there and we are going to replace that whole line. So we are in the process of doing that maybe not as we speak, but today. Tomorrow we'll excavate also, and we're hoping to have the line replaced by Friday. So that's the plan. I will keep everyone posted on that. And something, we talked a little bit at this today about while we had the project design team is, at some point we need to look at potentially a change in our heating system there, just something more efficient that doesn't involve huge boilers across the street, pumping the water underground to the building. So, something we'll talk about in the near future, I'm sure. So that's all I have right now on building grounds.
All right. Thank you. Any questions for Mr. Spengler? Seeing none.
Thank you.
Moving on to policy, Mr. Nur.
Yes, I just have, we'd like to just bring up for the second reading the policy that we had the last time on the modifications to the food service policy 808. If anybody has any questions, we can discuss.
Any questions from Mr. Nur regarding policy 808? Okay. Seeing none. Thank you, Mr. Nur.
Thank you.
Next up, athletics, Mr. Mall.
Hey guys, we started spring sports on Monday. We're on day 2 today. Numbers are actually pretty good. We have a bunch of kids out at the high school. Middle school soccer will start at some point later in the month of March. Their season doesn't start until the end of April. So things are going pretty well. We're hoping to be outside at hopefully somewhere near our fields early next week. And I know on the agenda tonight is the return to play spring guidelines. I know as a league, we're discussing different stuff and we're trying to get our league game day procedure plan in place by the end of this week as well. So I'm happy with our numbers and I think things are going pretty well and we'll see how things proceed from here.
Very good. Any questions for Mr. Mall? Seeing none. Next up is me, Carbon Lehigh Intermediate Unit 21. In February, as we normally do, we do not meet in February as an IU board. Therefore, I have nothing new to report tonight. Moving on, next, Borough of Catasauqua, Mr. Hine.
Yes, I participated in the borough meeting and their workshop. There really was nothing pertaining to the school district. The only thing they did announce that the Borough Hall will be opening up on March 15th. So that if you want to, pay your bills or go in to see, somebody at the Borough Hall will reopen again to the public on March 15th.
Very good. Any questions for Mr. Hine? Seeing none. Borough of North Catasauqua, Mr. Bashaw.
Thank you. I actually did not attend the meeting. However, I did talk to the mayor in an informal conversation, and I was talking to him about how we have a strong connection with the Catasauqua Police Department and the things that they do with with our school district, and wanted to, see if we can really grow a stronger relationship with the North Catasauqua Police Department. And he was ecstatic about that and would like to help foster that relationship. So what I do plan on doing is taking some time with you, Bob, in the near future when we get a few moments to breathe and just sit down with you and see if we can kind of foster a stronger relationship with them and get them into the buildings. As much as I see how well Catasauqua does, to also have North Catasauqua help too, being that our district is split between the two.
Sounds good. Thank you, Jason.
Very good. Any questions for Mr. Bashaw? Seeing none, moving on. Hanover Township, Ms. Reed.
They actually did not have anything to share this month.
Okay. Very good. Next up, thank you. PSBA liaison update, Mr. Panto.
There we go. I have been taking in more recently. They have a what's called a weekly buzz meeting for PSBA, and topical issues that are pertinent to where we're at right now. I shared with some of the board members and want to share with the general group kind of encouraging words that came through one of the most recent ones that I attended. They were breakout sessions in our region where board members of an array of school districts were talking about the challenges that they were facing during COVID and getting students back in the classroom. And I was encouraged, in contrast, how things have gone in our district. And I think it's, commendable how we have fought through the challenges this year, maintained students in the classroom, and good rapport with the community. So just wanted to share that as probably the most notable item that came out of the most recent meeting.
Very good. Thank you. It's great news. Not to diminish or say that everybody else isn't doing a great job, but it's great to hear that the Catasauqua cream is rising to the top. So that's awesome. Any questions for Mr. Panto? Seeing none. Next up, Lehigh Career and Technical Institute update. Ms. Cunningham.
I got the financial and compliance report from Herbine Consultants, and that's all I have to say.
Okay, thank you very much. Any questions for Ms. Cunningham? Seeing none. Our student representatives, and I believe we have Trista representing the student reps tonight. Trista, anything that you'd like to share with us?
I have nothing to report this evening.
Okay. Thank you very much. Moving on, and that'll finish up the board discussion reports. I'm going to, if there's no objections, I'm going to combine, starting with item 7, approval of minutes from prior meetings. We had a school board meeting on February 9, 2021. I would also like to combine that with the approval of the treasurer's report for February 2021, as well as number 9, approval of budget transfers, February 2021. Number 10, approval for payment of all AP bills, March 2021. Item 11, approval to ratify all expenses other than AP, February 2021. With nothing in financial. Moving on, if there's no objections, combining still personnel A, approval of FMLA leave for employee number 2136. We have 2 resignations, item B, item C, intent to retire. And item D, another intent to retire, and I'll stop there. Do I have a motion?
So move Cunningham.
And Jillian.
Any questions on all of that or any of that? Comments, concerns? Seeing none. This is a roll call, please, Ms. Reed.
Yes, Jason Bashaw,
Yes.
Jillian Emmert,
Yes.
Christy Cooper,
Yes.
Sean McGinley,
Yes.
Carol Cunningham,
Yes.
Dale Hine,
Yes.
Donald Panto,
Yes.
Lauren Cieslak,
Yes.
and Dwayne Dietrich.
Yes. Thank you, everybody. Next item, 13E, substitutes, and I am going to stop there. Applications for requested add to be a sub-employment list. I heard a motion. I didn't catch who it was.
So moved, Dale Hine.
A second?
Second Cunningham.
Okay. Any questions? Seeing none. This too is a roll call, please.
Yes, Carol Cunningham,
Yes.
Jason Bashaw,
Yes.
Dale Hine,
Yes.
Christy Cooper,
Yes.
Lauren Cieslak,
Yes.
Jillian Emmert,
Yes.
Donald Panto,
Yes.
Sean McGinley,
Yes.
and Dwayne Dietrich.
I will be abstaining tonight. Thank you. Thank you, board. Continuing on, item 13F, removal of substitute employees. 13G, nomination for appointment. We have some custodians and a instructional aide that would like to join us. That'd be great. Item H, half-year sabbatical salary increment changes. Item I, approval for days without pay. Item J, change in employment status. And item K, approval unpaid leave of absence. Item L, appointment of extracurricular positions for the 2020-2021 school year with one amendment. It says on the agenda, it says Kayla Cunningham. We are going to remove Kayla's name and replace that with Laura Gerhart. If I had no objections to that. Okay, it will be amended. So item M, appointment for certified aid rate of $162 per day for Deb Ellick. Item N, approval of unpaid suspension retroactive January 14th, 15th, 19th, 20th, and 21st, 2021 for employee number 0809. And I will stop there. Do I have a motion?
So moved Cunningham.
Second, Dale Hine.
Any questions, concerns, comments? Seeing none, this is a roll call, please.
Sean McGinley,
Yes.
Carol Cunningham,
Yes.
Jillian Emmert, Donald Panto,
Yes.
Dale Hine,
Yes.
Christy Cooper,
Yes.
Lauren Cieslak,
Yes.
Jason Bashaw,
Yes.
and Dwayne Dietrich.
Yes.
If I may, Mr. Dietrich, I would just like to offer my personal congratulations to
Certainly.
Amanda, Jordan, Abby, and Catherine. We are extremely pleased to have you to continue to be a part of the Catasauqua Rough Rider family here. You ladies have done a tremendous job for us this year, and we look forward to a long-term relationship with you. And I'm sure each of you may wish to say a few words. So
Thank
I
you.
can go. Oh,
I'm happy to be home. Happy to be back home and stay here. Thank you.
Thank you, Amanda.
You.
So sorry, guys. I think someone accidentally turned my video off. I can't turn it back on. But I as well want to say thank you for this opportunity. This past school year has been very enjoyable being at Sheckler. It's a great place to be, and I feel very grateful and honored to continue to. Here we go.
Excellent. There she is.
I feel very grateful and honored to be able to continue at Sheckler for years to come. It's been such a great school year, so thank you again.
Very good. Looking forward to it. Thank you.
I'd also like to say thank you. I'm so appreciative of the opportunity, especially going into this year. It was a challenge, but I was excited to take it on at Catty. So I'm very pumped to stay. So thank you all very much.
And thank you. The support that we get from Sheckler and the whole Catasauqua School District is amazing. So I'm very excited to continue on. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you very much. And looking forward to it. Good job.
Congratulations. Welcome aboard.
Congrats.
Congrats. Thank you.
Very, very good. Very good. Okay, moving on. Number 15, board approvals. 15A, approval of the Catasauqua Area School District LVHN return to sports competition guidelines, spring sports update in the form presented to the board, replacing the word should with shall. Item B, approval of the special education services agreement for the 2021-2022 school year for the Carbon Lehigh Intermediate number 21. The all-important calendar for 2020, 21, 2022. And item D, approval of the policy, the second reading, policy 808 for food service operations. Item E, tax assessment appeal for 3400 Airport Road. That is a withdrawal of that tax assessment appeal. Item F, approval of the by-board National Purchasing Cooperative Interlocal Participation Agreement. And last but not least, item G, approval of additional revised van or bus stops. I will stop there. Do I have a
So
motion?
moved, Cunningham.
Second.
Jillian.
Thank you. Any questions, comments, concerns? Seeing none, this too is a roll call, please.
Lawrence C. Slack,
Yes.
Sean McGinley,
Yes.
Jillian Emmert,
Yes.
Dale Hine,
Yes.
Jason Bashaw,
Yes.
Christy Cooper,
Yes.
Carol Cunningham,
Yes.
Donald Panto,
Yes.
and Dwayne Dietrich.
Yes. Thank you, board. Moving on, any old business? There is none on the agenda. So I don't believe we have any old business to take care of. Item 17, any new business? Any new business that we need to take care of tonight? Other than what we've already done. Seeing none, I'm going to combine items 18 accommodations, 19 information items, and 20 correspondence together. And we'll go around the horn as we normally do, starting with Mr. Kress. Wayne, what say you?
Well, just like to thank the board for accepting my retirement. Years flew by so quickly. It seems like it was about only a few years ago. I remember being in the crowded little boardroom over at Sheckler. And I remember, Carol, you were a part of the meeting that day. And it's just something, but I want to thank everybody. It's really been great to be a part of Catasauqua. In other news, I am happy to report that our E-rate filing for the network project, as well as some of our telecommunication needs, are filed. Now we just wait. Hopefully in the next few months, we'll know if everything's been approved. And I'm pretty optimistic. We've had a pretty good track record with getting approvals on that. As far as projects go, we just got in some replacements for the shared printers that we have around the buildings. Some of them have become pretty ancient, and we're going to be swapping in some new ones. And I think our teachers will be very happy with that. And that's about all I have.
Congratulations, Wayne, on your retirement.
Oh, thank you very much,
Yes,
Carol.
thank you.
Congratulations,
Thank you.
Wayne.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was a it's one of those that we don't like to approve, but we're happy to see you happy and wish you the best. So
Oh, thank you very much,
you're
Dwayne.
welcome. Next up, Kathy Cochran.
Well, I will ditto that, what you said. I was hoping that you wouldn't approve his retirement, but
Yeah.
he deserves it, and he deserves to enjoy the rest of his life. So he'll be dearly missed, but I know where he lives, and I know I can reach him with a phone call. And I'm sure we'll talk more as the time gets closer. And the girls that I shouldn't say the girls, the teachers that you hired tonight, they've been phenomenal. We've had the pleasure of working with them technology-wise, and they have picked up things that it's incredible coming into a first year online and how well they've done. So they'll be a really great addition to Catasauqua. And that's it.
Excellent. Thank you. Next up, Mr. Mall.
We finished the winter sports season. Derek Troxel scored his 1,000th point and was also named to the first team all league that's done by our coaches. Lexi Rushatz on the girls basketball side was also named honorable mention. And we had Jaron Hartraff and Austin Brett finish third at districts and just missed out advancing to the next weekend. Mikhail Hartraff and Gavin Fair and Jacob Nye also made it to the second day of districts. So we consider it to be, considering how far we made it in winter sports, a successful winter sports season. I thank the board for all their support throughout the season. And now we're on the spring and hopefully for bigger and better things. So thank you.
Thank you, Tom.
Thank you. Okay, moving on. Mr. Dopperman.
Yeah, just a quick thank you for approving the three ladies at Sheckler tonight. They really are outstanding teachers. We brought them on just before the start of the school year, and they pretty much had to build the program up from the bottom with what we gave them, and they worked well with our teachers to make that happen. And right now, actually a month or so into it, it really just started rolling so smoothly. I've gotten phone calls and emails about them. From parents saying that they appreciate what they're doing and it's a hard job and they're doing a great job at it, and they're young and inexperienced and they kind of just took the bull by the horn. So I appreciate you bringing them on for us next year. Wayne, quick congratulations. Sorry to see you go. I will certainly miss you, and I enjoyed working with you over the years. Hope you enjoy your retirement. Last week at Sheckler, we did a readathon. We did a read across America the best we could considering the circumstances. So Ron DeMeo and all of our teachers and Jen Thier especially, we still did a readathon. We did a book fair. We did Dr. Seuss bingo. We did a Dr. Seuss Kahoot where we were able to bring on our online kids and actually have them participate at the same time as all the kids that were in person. We did pod decorating contests, and there are a bunch of pictures online on our Facebook page that show all the good stuff that happened. So we're still trying to do our best even as we get closer to the end here. This afternoon, we got to collaborate about 8 of our teachers, our school nurse, Mr. DeMeo, myself, we got to collaborate with about 30 Nazareth teachers and about 4 Nazareth administrators. They were asking us how we came back and what we did to make it work 5 days a week as they are making that transition. So their elementary curriculum director did reach out to us a few weeks ago, and we talked, and then we got this set up. It was a fruitful meeting. They asked to be in contact with our teachers moving forward. So we're looking forward to that collaboration, because quite frankly, we hope that we can steal some things that they do that are working as well. So that was Noel Kondikoff who set that up for us. And I'd like to thank our staff who participated in that. We will have a modified egg hunt this year. with the help of the high school, some high school students. And we're looking forward to that. We'll make it COVID safe, of course. And we're prepping for PSSAs, and we are going to do the CDT data analysis on this coming Friday during our in-service day. And I think that's it.
Very good. Thank you very much. Next up, Ms. Inselman.
Hi, good evening, everyone. And just wanted to first start off by saying thank you to the board for hiring Amanda Peters. Amanda came to us this year, and she really jumped in and absorbed everything that was going around her with our fifth grade teachers and learning every curriculum, because in fifth grade, every teacher teaches everything. So she's done a wonderful job. Self-contained classroom really has taken a lead with our science department as well. So just want to officially welcome Amanda to our CMS family. So thank you. And also a shout out to Wayne, to say to Wayne that I'm going to miss you dearly as well. And as Cathy stated, I know where you live.
That's two now.
Exactly. He lives right here in the neighborhood. So I'm sure, Wayne, I'll be seeing you and your wife take your walks around their neighborhood hand in hand. So again, enjoy your retirement. It is definitely much deserved.
Well, thank you.
Absolutely. In terms of the school and what we're doing currently right now, we have our junior achievement presentations occurring in our 7th grade math classes, and that is going very well. We also have our Weller Center health presentations in grades 6, 7, and 8. We also have tomorrow, our 8th grade students will be inputting their course selections for high school. So we will have the high school guidance counselors, our middle school guidance counselors, meeting with all of our 8th grade students, both our traditional and our virtual students for that process. We will be conducting a teacher in service on Friday, March 12th with our trauma-informed training for our staff. And on the 17th, we're going to encourage everyone to wear green that day in honor of St. Patrick's Day. And looking ahead, next month, we have our PSSAs in April for both our traditional students and our online students. And at the same time, we'll be planning our 4th grade transitions. So we'll be looking forward to doing that next month as well. And that's all I have for this evening.
Very good. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Next up, Mr. Snug.
All right, good evening. I'd like to start off by saying I'm not ready to say goodbye to Wayne yet. And Wayne, I don't know where you live, so you won't have to worry about me coming to find you or anything like that. I might just stand awkwardly outside your office wishing you were still there for a while. Wayne's office is at the high school, and, I know he's done magnificent work for the district, but at Catty High, he's one of us in our opinion. And I'm definitely not ready to say goodbye to you. So I'm not, and I'll see you tomorrow. So
Sure.
There you go.
With regards to some upcoming events, as I'm sure everybody's aware now, we're at that point where we're doing end of year planning. Details for events that we're going to try to host and have are going to be rolling out over the course of the next couple weeks. So stay tuned for that information on social media, as well as we'll be emailing students and letting them know what updates are coming. We're going to try to have as many traditional events as possible. Keeping in mind, we have to stay safe with COVID guidelines. And I'm very optimistic that the end of this year is going to look and feel very similar to a traditional year at Catasauqua. So, but another big event coming up though this month is CHS, Catasauqua and Whitehall. We're getting together and we are having a virtual career expo on March 24th. So high school students are going to have the opportunity to virtually speak with members of our local area chambers of commerce, and they're going to see what it's like in terms of businesses, skills, and things that are needed to be employed right away, possibly see how they could tie in their futures with career aspirations that they have the opportunity to go to. So I'm pretty excited about it. It's a way to take something that we would normally do in person and find a way to make it happen virtually, and partnering with Whitehall has been fantastic on this because we're dealing with a large school and a small school, and we're able to come together virtually and get all of our kids exposed to a good career experience. So that's the big things happening in the high school, and that's all I have.
Very good. Thank you very much. Next up, Ms. Cooper.
I don't have anything new to add, but I also wanted to welcome all the new teachers and congratulate Wayne on his retirement as well. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Very good. Mr. McGinley?
Yeah, I mean, winning top workplace consecutive years is only done by having great employees. And I think that's, exemplified by our retirees and our new hires. Retirees getting so many accolades and good praises, and our new hires, just the great things we heard about you guys and what you did as a virtual teacher is unbelievable. I can't imagine being a teacher, let alone a online virtual teacher. It just blows my mind. And Wayne, congratulations. But if I was you, I would change my number and move, or you never retire. Last couple board meetings, all I heard is how we're going to replace you and if we can replace you. And tonight, everybody's talking about how they're going to stop by your house and call you. So if your wife's like my wife and yelling at you for working too much, I would definitely leave Catty and change that number. But congratulations, buddy.
Thanks a lot.
Very good. Next up, Mr. Bashaw.
Well, Sean, that's a tough one to follow, but I want to honestly just welcome our new Rough Riders. I want to thank the teachers, the students, the community, the administration for, gosh, everything you guys are doing. I know how difficult it is, and I say this every week. I just can't thank you guys enough for making Catty what it is. It's not an easy job. So honestly, thank you all for everything you do. And Wayne, for the 21 years you put into this district. I'm not anywhere near 21 years yet. So bless you for everything you've done for this district and making us where we are today. So thank you to you all, and Wayne, the best in your new chapter with your wife.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jason. Mr. Panto.
Well, I repeat what everyone else has said. Congratulations, Wayne. You deserve a great retirement. So I wish you health and happiness, and we've all been richer for having you here. And always like accepting new staff on. We have to feel the heaviness of saying goodbye to some, but we have the pleasure of making the company and acquaintance of the new Rough Riders, as they say. So welcome aboard, and welcome to the team.
Very good. Next up, Ms. Cieslak.
Same. Congratulations to our newly hired team members, and congratulations to all of our retirees. May you have a very happy retirement, and we will miss you all dearly. So congratulations.
Very good. Thank you. Ms. Emmert.
Just want to say congratulations to Wayne, and thank you to the principals for trying to make everything as normal as possible for our students and still having those traditions for our kids, because they still are kids. So thank you for all of that. That's all.
Thank you. Mr. Hine?
Yeah, I want to congratulate all the retirees, especially Wayne, because we deal with him pretty much on a weekly or monthly basis. And but I also want to, congratulate the 4 other retirees that we're going to be accepting in the near future. We always used to do a retirement, I don't want to say party, but a retirement get together at the end of the year. Hopefully, if things ease up a little bit, we can do the same thing, and we all can celebrate together sometime in June. My other thing is, before we have our meeting next week, Mr. Spangler, can we get some of the financials presented to all the board members? It's been just the design team that's seen all the numbers. I'd like to have all the board members ahead of time, see the numbers so they can look at them before we go to the meeting.
Yes, absolutely. I will send out all that information, and going all the way back to the initial, the feasibility study, moving forward with the bids and all the information with kind of an explanation also. Yep. Thank you. Definitely.
Very good. Anything else, Dale?
That's it.
Very good. Thank you. Ms. Cunningham.
I'd like to congratulate all the new staff and wish Wayne a happy, healthy retirement.
Thank you, Carol.
Very good. Student rep, Trista.
Hi, piggybacking off of what Mr. Panto said earlier, I know that the students really appreciate being able to be in the classroom, and like Mr. Snug said, like the whole traditions thing and trying to keep everything as normal as possible, because it has been a struggle, but we're getting through it, and it's all thanks to you guys and thanks to all the staff. So that's it.
Very good. Thank you very much. I'll go next. So again, congratulations to everybody, the retirees, the new staff. Thank you to everyone involved in this district. It literally takes a village, if you will, or a borough in this case, a couple boroughs in a township, why not, to be successful. And as you can see, the collaboration that we had with Nazareth and the feedback that Mr. Panto had heard in the PSBA, we're doing the right stuff. And we're doing it well, and we're just going to keep on doing it with these new staff members, new team members, and what do they say at the football game? It's always a great day to be a Rough Rider. So that's all from me. Mr. Nur.
I have nothing legal, but I'd like to extend my congratulations also to Wayne. It's been a pleasure working with you on a number of projects over the years, and I'm extremely jealous. Congratulations.
Thanks a lot, Dave.
Good. Dr. Lutz Demling.
Yes, I'm looking at the combined years of service of our soon to be retirees, and I'm just so impressed. 137 years of service. What a wealth of experience. And
wow.
I would just like to congratulate all of our retirees. And it's definitely hard to even imagine our technology department without Wayne. It's always been a pleasure working with Wayne and all of our teachers who plan to retire as well. And also congratulations to Amanda, Abby, Jordan, and Kate. We are so thrilled to have you join our Catty team. And I just really look forward to your future here at CASD. So welcome aboard. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you. Mr. Spangler.
So like at this point, you guys have said every single thing that I want to say. You realize that being last on the list, but it's a testament to kind of our Rough Rider culture here, which I think we've really invigorated over the last bunch of years. And Wayne, you are part of that culture, buddy. I've known Wayne for a long time in his pre-Catty days when he worked at the IU, and Wayne is an absolute jewel. And, you guys see certainly his technical knowledge, but Wayne's approach, just the way Wayne handles people and situations is an absolute rare find, and what makes Wayne, Wayne, and why we love Wayne. So Wayne, we're going to miss you, but we also absolutely, wish you the best. And I do have your cell number, and I'm going to make sure that number is ported to your new phone, and et cetera. Maybe let them buy you a darn phone.
We have ways.
Yeah,
Yes, we do.
Anytime, Bob, you can always
I know.
call me.
And Wayne is so tremendous that he'll, and we will not abuse that, Wayne, but we love you, Wayne, and we're going to miss you. Absolutely. And on the other side of things, as Christina and everyone else mentioned, we have a whole new group of people starting here at Catty, and that is so refreshing and invigorating, and just keeps our Catty culture alive. So we continue to be able to attract the best here at Catty, and that's honestly, it really truly is because of the culture that we're allowed to create and the culture of our great community. So that's how we all work together, and it all works out. So I congratulate our new teachers, and I congratulate Wayne and all of our retirees. And there will probably be a couple more retirees next month that we'll take a look at. The institutional knowledge that we lose is, significant, many, many years. And the experience factor does matter. But I'm also confident that we have new people who will walk in and establish their own their own knowledge base, their own expertise, and we move ahead. So thank you everyone for continued support. Congratulations, Wayne, and young ladies that we just hired tonight. Congratulations. Thank you, Dwayne.
Good. Thank you. Thank you very much. Next up, recognition of guests and visitors. Do we have any guests and or visitors?
Dwayne, there are no comments.
All right. Well, we would like to recognize them anyway, so thank you very much. Next meeting dates, as we talked about earlier, March 16th, 2021 at 6 o'clock, there'll be a special board meeting, so look out for that. Regularly scheduled meeting Tuesday, April 13th, 2021, 7 p.m. And then we have committee meetings on Wednesday, May 5th, 4 o'clock Buildings and Grounds, 5 o'clock Academics, and 6 o'clock Athletic Committee. That being said, I would like to have a motion to adjourn, please.
So moved, Cunningham.
A second.
Jillian.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? No, nobody? Okay, we're adjourned. Thank you very much, everybody. Have a good evening. Stay safe, and we'll see you when we see
Stay
you.
safe, everybody.
Bye.
Good night, everyone.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
Night.